Hi all, welcome back. Any match in Kharkov, German. So this is part 47. And now it turns out I did burn myself out. So I've had a few days off, about 3 days since I've done anything. Um, just yeah, it's just too much. I don't know. It might have been a bit of uh, the realization that things weren't going. I don't think it was. I mean, I wasn't really that confident about maybe being able to win by the end of this turn, to be honest. Um, but I suppose seeing the reality of how the Soviets are now just bursting through and spreading out and whatever, and it's like, but I don't think any of that had anything to do with it really. I just think it came to a head, or I just had too much. I've just been playing too much of it, and so I just wanted to kind of chill. Although it was kind of difficult. Last couple of nights I came up and I set up a Euro type game. I've got what is it? Difficult to pronounce. Teotihuacan or something like that. Yeah, just more simpler affair than this, and yeah, it's okay. But these are the games I like. But obviously, because I've had that much time off recently, I've just been hitting this too hard, really. Although, like I say, the last couple of nights I was still looking across, thinking, oh, maybe I should just have a little impulse, But I thought, no, just leave it just now. So, and I might slow it down a little bit, but we'll see. I might just play this part, and then it might just kick in again, and off I go again. But it just shows you it can kind of do that if you overdo it. Uh, Anything to talk about? Um, yeah, there was a mistake I needed to fix. What was that? But hang on, I should maybe look over the comments. I should maybe have took note of a few of them, the fact that I knew I wasn't going to have a wee shot for a bit. Give me a sec. There were a few comments made, a few corrections on some of my speaking about suggesting things. I think John Brown picked up on the fact I was looking at one point to deploy. I was deploying a unit outside the boundary or that. I want to say it was maybe one of these first, second SS units before the third tank came across. And I was trying to deploy it in here, which is clearly outside its boundary. There was also some talk again about when I was trying to leave Chugev, was it, or one of the towns. I got muddled up. This was John Brown again. I got muddled up thinking, no, actually, I think it was Unit 1 that was in Zimyev, and I was saying, well, he'll be the first one to move in there and take it, but that's not the case because it goes in descending order, movement method 1. Obviously, so you take the VP hex with your poorest unit, So yeah, that was misspoken there. I also maybe not misspoke, but Warren's picked up on the fact that the units wouldn't have moved out the town at the time. I don't know if this was Zimev or Chugev or wherever it was, because then that would have left me proximate to it. So I didn't consider that at the time. But again, nothing that was done in mistake. I think I just talked about all these things, maybe not in the right kind of way. The one that did Lawrence brought up was movement method. Right, what one is that now? Is it 2? Give me a sec, because he actually. Yeah, it was movement method 2, and I was started questioning this one. But it's the last part of movement method 2, which is a Soviet unit starting adjacent to German VP hex within 4 hexes of the objective marker and unable to move to a preferred VP hex. And it's just the way it's worded there. A Soviet unit starting adjacent to a German VP hex within 4 hexes. Is it the unit's is it the unit that's within 4 hexes, or is it the German VP hex within 4 hexes? And I still find that a little unclear, but I thought it was maybe just me with my trying to read the English language. So, and that's what I replied. It was Warren said that it is the VP hex, and he said the rule book made it clearer, but to me, the way it's worded in the player aid sounds more in favour of the VP hex. It says, if start adjacent to most preferred VP hex within 4 hexes of objective, don't move at all. That kind of suggests more to me that it's the VP hex that needs to be within 4. But I could still see that being either way. And I think John Brown actually replied as well. So it might be one that needs to be a question, because John actually, I don't think, was sure himself as well, thought that it could be written. I think that was John's response anyway. Yeah, John replied with he wasn't that sure about it either. So that's a shame. I could have added. I just posted a couple of questions on BGG. I could have maybe chucked that out as a question as well. I'm sure I'll get round to it, or maybe if Martin gets word of these things, and maybe he'll jot it down for a question for John come at some point when he gets around to that. Yeah, and the one thing I did make a mistake with, or did I fix that yet? No, I don't know where it is. Or did I fix it? It's the army objective marker for the 40th Army. Yeah, it's in here. Well, as soon as the Soviet unit reaches that, it moves on. So Warren's picked that one up as well. I didn't really think about it at all. So that was 1012, so it moves to 0215, which is Gotnya, is it? Oh, well, that's going to drop off as well. Well, when that guy got to there, that would have just went away then, wouldn't it? Oh, did we not just activate him recently? I did, didn't I? Was that guy in Gotnya? Because then they would have followed the other movement method, wouldn't they? Well, hang on though, Grant. What have they done? They're not. They're sitting in Belgorod. Oh no, that was drawn for artillery, I think. Yeah, I don't think we have activated them for a while. I think I'm okay. The last time we activated them, they attacked there, and then they brought in their what was it? They brought in the reserve and attacked Belgorod and finished that off. I'm pretty sure that was before a third tank had moved. So I think I've got away with that one. So when that unit reached there, the army objective marker should have disappeared, I think. Yeah, army objective removal, page 16, 9.13. An army objective marker is removed from play when any Soviet unit enters the last listed hex on the army objective marker, which is 0215 for the 40th Army, which is that hex. Even if other hexes on the marker have not yet been entered. Well, I think it was over there anyway at the time. And then when an army objective marker is removed, units in that army follow the movement methods for their front's objective if in play. So that comes off, that army objective marker comes off now. That's that one finished with. So yeah. And yeah, just quickly, the last couple of things to talk about. I was watching Michael's videos. Like I say, I thought burnt myself out a little bit, but I thought I could still watch a bit of somebody else playing. Maybe that's not the best thing to do either, though. Maybe that's not taking you away from that, really. And anyway, I was watching, made a few comments, spotted what I thought were a couple of things that, well, one thing that I thought that he was doing wrong, but I misinterpreted what he was actually doing. Although it's brought something to mind that maybe I have been, maybe this I have been getting wrong. Again, it's movement method 2, adjacent to German VP hex and near objective. I'm pretty sure I talked about this way back when I was first operating this movement method and wondering, let's come and take a case that's, is there anything good to look at? Well, maybe Kharkov then, I suppose. So we've got these units around Kharkov. Hang on, that's Kharkov, isn't it? Yeah. So we've got these units around Kharkov. So if I was to try and move them in movement method 2, I mean, it's all a bit congested here, but let's just say, just try and imagine what I'm thinking here. It says move to a hex closer to or within 4 hexes of the unit's objective marker and adjacent to a German VP hex. And I'm pretty sure I remember talking about this, thinking, okay, I'm round this VP hex, I'm already adjacent to it, but can I get close, can I get round about it a bit with that movement method? And I thought about it quite a few times, and in the end I decided that no, what that's meaning is, can I move to a VP hex? But if you read it in the way that that's written, just as I read there, move to a hex closer to, let's forget the within 4 hexes, right? Move to a hex closer to the unit's objective marker and adjacent to German VP hex. So let's just say that unit could move into this hex, right? No, let's say I ignore what's round about, and let's just say his objective marker's like here, right? Right, his objective marker's here. He's adjacent to Kharkov, his objective marker's there. If he moves in there, he's moving closer to his objective marker. He's staying around the same VP hex. And I think that's how I read it at first when I first started playing. I think the occasions that it came up at the time when I was thinking, and then I was a bit doubting myself and I was a bit unsure. But I think every time it happened, it didn't really make a difference. I couldn't make moves like that were beneficial. I think when it all kicked in was when you've got what is it? You've got Chugayev, Zimev, and what's the other one? Volchansk. Yeah, you've got the three, and you've all got the 3 towns, and they're all quite close together. And you've seen what happens. Some of the third tank were going different ways, and Popov were going different ways, and of course, yeah, Warren's brought up the fact that he believes that wherever that hex is that the Popov units go to is too far north of what I say, is it? Yeah, too far north. I think he's not had any response to his sort of question regarding that, but I'd like to think John will come on at some point and maybe say something about that. Anyway, and so Michael done this in his video. Like I say, I misunderstood how he was doing it. So my first comment was, I thought he was doing it with the second part of the movement method, which is a Soviet unit starting adjacent to a German VP hex within 4 hexes of the objective marker. And maybe that's what throws you as well, because obviously you're starting adjacent, but this unit in Michael's situation, it wasn't within 4 of the objective marker, so it couldn't be considered for that part. But he took it, he could still move it 1 hex closer to his objective marker. And then after reading that and thinking about it, I thought, he might well be right. In fact, reading it sounds like it is right. So I posted a question asking that. And also within that, I kind of thought he was getting this wrong as well, but it was because I was misinterpreting what it was he was doing, to be honest. And what he done was, he wanted to move that unit from there to there, let's just say, right? Because it was getting closer to his objective marker. When he did the move, he had to then 9.25, and 9.25 took him back to the hex that he started from, because that was a more preferential hex. However it came about, I can't remember, but I think that's what happened. And what he done then was, he said that unit had moved, and I wasn't so sure about that one as well. But again, it's one of the ones I think I've been swilling about, because that's quite relevant now. If it's not moved, then obviously it can bounce back to reserve. If it is moved, he considered it to be moved because it moved to here and adjusted back to the same hex. I'm not so sure about that one as well, but I could see that going either way. Because has the unit moved or not? I mean, has it moved? I don't know. So I added that to the question too, so we can see. We can see what comes back from that. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. So I know things weren't going so well either, were they? Well, I mean, that's part of the thing I was talking about. I think the Soviets have broke through, it's looking messy. They're sitting outside Wazovia, they're sitting on 11 victory points. We want them all to be on 11 victory points come the end of the turn. They're only halfway through their deck. Yeah, not even maybe. I think there's probably more cards in the draw pile. It's maybe about halfway then. They've got this unit outside Valky, but it's not going to go into Valky because we've worked that one out. That these Southwest Front units will not enter these towns unless. And again, this was something I was maybe going to have a question about to discuss. That it feels a little bit gamey to be able to sort of say, I don't want to put these Rouse units into there to protect this VP Hex, because that then gives them the opportunity to attack them and then advance after combat into the Hex, because I think that's the only way they'll go into that Hex. I might have it wrong, something else might pop up. And I've not released, this is part 47, I've not released 46, I was watching through a bit of it and it was just like I say, I was a bit burnt out, so I don't know if any of this stuff, because that's maybe when I was talking about this, might have got out there, so maybe nobody's seen that to maybe comment on, but seems a little strange. So, well, it's my impulse, isn't it? So why don't you just go and look and see what you can do, Grant? Okay, so that's my hand. Yeah, remember I moved the map up a little bit, didn't I? So I can squeeze that in there just. So, what are we going to do? Well, I don't think I should fret about Valky or. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I should really. This is what I was saying before. I think I wish I was just put out my misery by knowing that they've got 12 points. But can you not really accept the fact that they're going to have 12? I can't until one thing happens, because they'll not go in here and they'll not go in here. Is there not somebody proximate to Valky though? No, because we've got the Rouse units here, so I don't think any third tank units are proximate. Because there's not a gap here. So they'd have to go round about. So Valky's kind of safe at the moment. And so is Krasnograd. I mean, yes, the Popov units are going to probably keep going now. They're on their way. So it's not really about putting units in fact, I don't want to put a unit in there. No, it feels odd, but I don't want to put a unit in there. Because, I mean, after that, admittedly, any of the other, there's nothing down here, is there? No, there's nothing. Well, we've got, actually, Poltova is right down here. And it's Vornes front as well. So, I don't need to fret on Popov coming into that either. What I do need to consider is Popov are going to start heading down. There's their objective marker. They're going to Dnipropetrovsk. And I'm not even going to attempt that one. No. Let's not bother with that one. But anyway, they're going to head for these, and there's a couple there as well. So I can't just ignore that. But I suppose I've just, because they've not got the 12th point, this is the worry here, Wazovia. Because they third tank, 6 army units, if they activate, one of them's going in there. They're not frightened to go in there because that's their objective. That's Southwest. It's targeted for the Southwest Front, and they're right outside that, and it's an empty German VP Hex, so they're going to stroll in there. So I think I should still have a go at that. You know what I mean? Try and protect, do something about that. But of course, now my original plan way back, if I'd done it a way back, then we would have been sitting with third core units in there, but we're not. So my options are, I deploy third core or 57 core. Now 57 core have 3 units, third core have 5 units, and yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I had it in my mind when since I've stopped playing, that I think this was the better option, because I haven't drawn the. No, hang on. Oh, they did get a primary card, didn't they, for that? Yeah, I think it only just came in this turn though. We've not played it, have we? No, we haven't. But if I go and deploy them with this, then there's no guarantees I'm going to get another activation with third core. Whereas if I deploy them with this and draw, which there should be a primary card for them, and I've only got 3 cards left in my deck, so I mean, if the first card happens to be that, then wherever I've deployed them, I can then maybe make a move into Lazovia. So let's have a go at that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's just have a go at that and just see what happens, I think. I still sort of have doubts about, even if I did get something in there, that I'm going to be able to hang on, because there's far too much still to come, I think, you know. Now, yeah, because they've got to deploy in that area, haven't they, from that line in. And third core, oh no, I'm lying, sorry. They're the other side, they're 4th Panzer Army. So, in actual fact, they need to deploy in here. Oh yeah, of course, I remember, I've got a unit here from their core, but I can't deploy them within 3 of them, so that's fair enough. So I need to pick a 4th Panzer Army unit, probably this being my best target, and yeah, that was it, but I can't find the road. There's no road. So, I mean, that is within 3, but it's adjacent to a Soviet unit. I've got to be 3 away from that as well. So I think I've got to deploy them, strategically. Because there's nothing within 3 of that. Hang on. Did I get away with that hex? That feels a bit cheeky, but did I not get away with that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 away from any enemy units. And it's within 3 of that. And it's in a clear hex as adjacent to supply. But see, this is in the other boundary. This is in my army boundary. I think that's okay, yeah? That feels like that should be okay. Because I tell you what, if I can't deploy it in there, it's maybe just as well I spotted that one, because I get the feeling I would have to deploy 2, 3, oh no, I can't even go there. So I would have to be at least 5 hexes away from that. So I'd have to be 1, 2, and I've got to be on the road, remember, with the strategic. John confirmed that one for me. Now, I think that would be a legitimate hex, but then I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sure I can't make Lazovia. That feels a bit cheeky, but you know, let's just have a look what it says. Point General Reserve, Tactical Reserve Deployment. In the unit's army area, well, that is a hex in the unit's army area, right? In a German map edge hex or a road hex that is a friendly supply head or a clear terrain hex adjacent to such a... Grant, that's not a supply road. Because... I can't try supplying that road. Because it's going right past these Soviet units. This isn't going to work then. So I can't deploy it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I say, that is only hex I think I can deploy. Yeah, that's a mess. Have I used my any one unit move? No, I've not. Oh, hang on, Grant, hang on. Yeah, because remember, once you deploy one... Right, okay. So I can still do this. Because I'd rather draw the card that... I mean, I could use my any one unit move, admittedly. So I can't deploy there, so that tells me I don't think I can deploy tactically at all. There's not a hex within 3 of a 4th Panzer Army unit that is going to be on a supply road that is also at least 3 hexes away from an enemy unit. Yeah. So if that one's legit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I could deploy one there. But where are you getting your supply road, Grant? You're not. Right, I need to find a hex here somewhere that reaches Lazovia, but the roads just go away down there. Why is there no road up here? No, hang on. If I deploy adjacent to the road, would that work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would. 2015 or 1915. Yeah, that works. So if I deploy yeah, I'm just having a dilemma now about how to do this. There's the 3 units I've got, and what I want to do is if I got the chance to move 2 units, which means if I draw the primary card, then I would probably move the 2 strength units. So I would want them in this hex, and then that would deploy that guy, and this guy would deploy first, and then they would deploy in there next, and then they'd be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. Wait, hang on, I'm on the wrong bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So can I not reach from there then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah. I'm crossing that minor river, isn't it? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm one short. That's why they need to be in there. Hang on. No. 5, 6. Yeah, that's going back a hex if I go in there. So yeah, what I'm saying is I deploy that guy first with strategic deployment, and I'll double check these just now in a minute. But and then I deploy these 2 with tactical. Well, I mean, in actual fact, they could be within 3. They could... Oh, no. They can't. Because they need to be in a clear hex adjacent to a supplied road. That's why they're going there. So, if I knew I was getting the card, that's how I would set it up. However, if I've got any one unit move, I would probably want to move the 3 strength unit rather than the 2 2s. So, that's what I'm kind of having a dilemma about now. What's the best way to do it? I mean, I've got 3 cards, so I've got... Yeah, that's what my odds are, like 3 to 1. chance of drawing the card. 1 in 3 chance, you know. And if I don't, I probably want to activate any one unit. Well, that's assuming. I mean, if 6 army activate, then that's game over anyway, isn't it? But yeah, and also, I think a good idea would probably be to consider the other guy coming down to Pradovka, down here probably. So, I mean, I could start that. I could go that way and have a 3 and a 2, I suppose. That just means that the 2's coming down here. That might be better actually. And then I could actually, oh yeah, I could do that, and then either way I've got the choice. I could take 5 strength up, or just take the 3 strength up if I draw the 1. Yeah, that's probably better then, isn't it? So I'll deploy that guy there first. So let's look at this and make sure that I can deploy here then with my strategic deployment, right? Place reserve units in a German map edge hex or a road hex that is a valid friendly supply head in the unit's army area. This is a valid friendly supply head. It's on a road that traces to German map edge without any issues. And it's actually on the road and it's in the army area. So all good there. And at least 5 hexes away from all non-isolated enemy units. Garrisons. Yeah, we're okay. And enemy towns and cities at this distance is reduced to 2 hexes, placing unit map in a German map edge hex. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from this guy. He's my closest. You can see these are fine. This guy in here, he's far enough away. So I believe that's okay. So I'm going to put unit 6. I'm going to deploy him in there. And then once I've got him deployed, I'm then going to tactically deploy the other 2. Now they need to be in the unit's army area, in a German map edge hex or road hex that is a friendly supply head, or a clear terrain hex adjacent to such a hex. That's why I'm getting away with this one. Clear hex adjacent to the supply road. In actual fact, could I do them there? Yeah, I could. They could actually go here. They don't need to go there, so they could actually go on the road. Because they only need to be 3 away from that enemy unit. So yeah, I mean, in actual fact, I could deploy them in Krasnograd, but that's just, I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I keep saying this one. I'm better without units in there until 3rd tanks show their heads. Then, admittedly, but yeah. Right, well, I think I'll just put them both in here. Now, what if pop-off activate and come across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I was breaking zone of control, that hex would be alright as well. You could actually deploy them there, Grant. It's not much different, to be honest. I think I'll just deploy them there. So they're on a clear hex that's adjacent to a supply head. And they're at least 3 hexes away from an enemy unit, or town, or city, or whatever. And not in a hex criteria Soviet garrison, but maybe adjacent. Yeah. And then within these restrictions, place a unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same core, which they are. Right, okay, sorry, phone call, you may have heard. Right, what was I doing then? Was I going with that? I don't know what my thoughts were just before the phone rang. I think I was contemplating trying to get them a bit closer, was I? Ah, just, yeah, I think we just go with that. Yeah. Yeah, and this is just I might as well give it a try. Yeah, I might as well give it a try and try and get them into there, and then the Sixth Army I've got to do something. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's not just about trying to stop them getting that extra victory point. I do need to stop that. You might have then said, well, why not deploy the third corps units? Well, I know there's no guarantee of getting another third corps card though. Because yes, I could deploy third corps units down in this area here. Remember, if they were coming down here, they'd need to be strategically as well. Because I can't get 1, 2, 3. No, I can't get within 3 of that guy. I'm not going to be far enough away for them. 1, 2, 3. Well, in actual fact, I could get them there, I think, which is just off camera. No, I can't, because they're going to be adjacent to Gar. Oh no, the garrison bit only kicks in for strategic. So I think that would be a legal deployment for the third corps. But that's still a good bit away from Mazovia, so I would maybe need to consider placing some of them strategically in here. I mean, yes, there's more units. There's 5 units compared to these 3, but... Right, look, I'm just going to go with that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think what I was trying to say there was that even if they do take Wazovia, I do need to put some we do need to stop some of this happening. We don't want them to keep coming, so... Yeah. Right, so I played that, deployed them, and well, let's draw the card, see if we get some result. Like I say, we've got a 3 in 1 chance, a 1 in 3 chance of drawing the card. Wait to see, I'll draw a third corps card. I'll be kicking myself. Right, you're definitely doing that then, Grant? I think so. Yeah, let's just go with it. Right, okay, there's my replacement card. Yes, okay, well, there you go, spot on. And remember, guys, I don't mess about, right? I'm not, like, cheating or anything like that. Every time I do that, you kind of feel like somebody's, yeah. You got the card you wanted, but... well, what can I do? Like I say, I could manipulate any way I want, I suppose, but what would be the point in all that? Okay, and I think, if any of you have watched any of my playthroughs, it's not that I'm victorious and I get that I'm brilliant at these games and seem to manage to win all the time. I'm sure that's been noticed. I don't want to give spoilers away in case anybody else is, want to watch any of my playthroughs, but well, maybe I have just given a spoiler away. But it's not all good and successful anyway, that's for sure. Right, so now I can, as long as 6th Army don't activate. If 6th Army activate, then that's that. Don't tell me Popov could go up there, could he? Oh, he can. I didn't notice that. Although I might have noticed that once I finished up the last bit of recording I done, possibly. Yeah, you can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just as well. Well, that makes it even harder. That means we've got to avoid a 6th Army and a Popov activation this turn to be able to then get the guys into Wazovia. So, yeah. So I bet the odds have just dropped a little. Got worse for us anyway. Right, I managed to scrape that into 39 minutes. Who would have thought? So I'll cut that. This phone could do with getting plugged in again actually. Must have been sitting off charge. Yeah, okay, so I'll put this together and we'll hopefully slowly get back into it again and see how it goes. Well, we need to see how the turn's going to end, and like I say, you never know. I might draw cards that don't allow them that victory point here, and then we can sort of say, okay, well, let's see what happens next, impulse, and yeah, I don't hold hopes too high. Not high at all, to be honest. But anyway, right, okay, I'll get away for now and I'll be back with the next part shortly. Okay, cheers, guys.